One of the biggest lessons that I learned when it comes to reaching your goals is you have to detach yourself from the outcome. And that's hard because I used to be a control freak. Okay. I need to be in control of any and everything. But you can't do that when it comes to your goals because it's not going to happen when you want it to happen. All right. I lost 100 pounds, in case you didn't know. My heaviest weight was 340 pounds. I'm 6'3", and I lost it through eating less, moving more. I hired a personal trainer. I've kept the weight off now for 5 years. And every time I had tried to lose weight prior to this go around, I was so obsessed with when the weight was going to come off, right? I would give myself unrealistic timelines like I need to lose 50 pounds in a month and a half. I need to lose 10 pounds in 2 days. Like just the most outlandish expectations ever. And the timelines in which I set didn't even make sense, but I was holding on to when I would reach that goal. And every single time I tried to lose weight like that, I always failed because I would get disappointed when I didn't reach the goal weight I had in that time frame. And I would start to feel like it's not going to happen. I was cooked, right? It was toxic. It was so toxic. It wasn't until I let go of control. It wasn't until I decided, you know what? I'm not going to obsess over the scale. I'm just going to obsess over showing up every day, giving it all I got. So I focused on making sure I stayed in my caloric deficit most days. I focused on making sure I was getting my steps in. I focused on making sure I was lifting and showing up for my personal training sessions. I made sure to focus on prioritizing 8 hours of sleep. I made sure to do the things that I could control that would get me to my goal, right? I want you to start looking at it like that too. Same thing with my business, right? I wanted to become a millionaire in the first 6 months of me starting my online business. I've been a full-time entrepreneur now for 6 years, started during COVID. When I didn't reach $1 million in 6 months, I was devastated. I was like, what the hell? Like, I was mad. I was in the dumps about it. Like, I started to think that I wasn't capable of it. It wasn't going to work out for me. I can't do this, right? Because I had this unrealistic timeline. I didn't realize that it takes people 10 plus years to hit those numbers. I had no clue, but I was holding on to the when it was going to happen. When I let go of control and stopped focusing on what I cannot control when I make my first million. But I can control the actions that I do every day that will get me closer to it, right? So showing up every day, even when I don't feel like it, posting my content, perfecting my products, building my target audience, I can control those things. And I'm going to focus on controlling those things, which is me showing up. And eventually, don't know when, but eventually I will get to my first 1 million, right? I think we spend way too much time trying to control the uncontrollable. And it's toxic. It's draining. I have I've been big in manifesting. I've manifested my whole life. But back then when I was manifesting, I didn't realize I was manifesting, right? One thing that I learned is you have to keep your energy high. You have to vibrate on a high frequency. So what that means is you have to feel good about yourself. This is why in countless videos I tell you, if you allow yourself to feel shameful, guilt, if you allow yourself to sit and mope and cry and feel depressed, you are taking yourself out of that high frequency. You're vibrating at a very low level and you're not going to make the best decisions and you're not going to show up for yourself. In order to manifest, you have to vibrate high because when you vibrate high and you feel good about yourself, you're going to do good for yourself. So you're going to prioritize yourself. You're going to put yourself first. You're going to show up for yourself. You're going to pour into yourself. You're going to talk positively to yourself. And that's what you need in order to get the things that you want. But when you sit around trying to control the when, it's going to drain you. Because if it doesn't happen when you feel entitled to it, what happens? You feel bad. You think that you can't do it. You're not good enough. It's never going to work for you, right? All these negative emotions. We feel frustrated. We might feel anxiety. We might feel depression because you're trying to control things that you just can't control. Every day now, I just focus on controlling what I can, right? I can control what time I get up. I can control how I structure my day. I can control what kind of content I watch and making sure I only watch content that's motivating and inspiring me. I can control how many videos I create today. I can control if I go to the gym or not. I can control how many steps I get in today, right? I can control so many things in my day. I can control what I eat. If I focus on the things that I can control, well, now I can let go of the uncontrollable. And when I let go, when I detach, that's actually when it happens. Because you're kind of like forcing it to happen in a way, if that makes sense. Like you're doing all of the things that align with what it is that you want. It has no choice but to happen, right? With weight loss. If you eat in a caloric, and I know some people may try to fight this argument, argue with your mama, but science is science. If you eat in a caloric deficit, right? Not just say you do, but you actually weigh out your food. You actually, use a food tracker like MyFitnessPal or something. If you actually do those things and eat under those calories every single day, you are forcing your body to lose weight. It doesn't have a choice. You're not the 1% or you're not the 0.00001% of people that don't work for. No, you're not. You're not the exception to the rule. You are forcing it to work. You're forcing it to work. It has no choice but to work because you're doing all the things that's going to make it work. So let go of when. Stop holding on to the when it will work. It'll work when it's time. When you become the version of yourself that can handle the thing. See, sometimes the reason why, and for myself, it took me damn near 2 years to lose 100 pounds naturally, right? I had to become a different person. I had to become a version of myself that could sustain 100-pound weight loss. Because let's think about it. What if I didn't self-develop in that weight loss journey? So I didn't learn how to cope with my emotions when life lifes. Because before I was coping with food. I was binge eating when I was stressed, sad, depressed, anxious, all the things. Well, if I didn't change that, even if I did lose 100 pounds, I would have gained it all back because I wasn't the version of myself that I needed to be in order to sustain it. See, I don't want to put in a whole bunch of hard work and then you get the thing that you want, but then you lose it just like that because you didn't change yourself. That's why I think a lot of things that we want so quickly, it has to take time. It has to be a slow process because we have to take on a whole new identity. You can't be the version of yourself that is lazy and procrastinates and tells yourself what you're not good at and what you can't do and then think that you're going to run a successful business. That ain't going to work. You're going to have to be the person who knows how to be disciplined even when you don't feel like it, who shows up even when it's not working, who knows how to talk to herself respectfully even if you're not getting the results that you want. You have to be that person in order to run a 6-figure, 7-figure business, which means you have to align with what you're manifesting, whatever it is that you want, which means you have to change. And change takes time. Change takes a lot of time. Change is not easy, which is why most people, I feel like, don't change because they don't understand the art of delayed gratification and they probably just don't want to change, right? But whatever it is that you're seeking out, 9 times out of 10, whatever it is that you want, most people don't have it. Most people probably don't have the thing. Think about it. A lot of people want a house. Most people are not homeowners. Most people do not own a house because owning a house is a lot. It's a lot financially, right? You have to be somewhat financially responsible because you're going to need repairs at some point. You have to have good credit or at least decent credit to get in the house in the first place, which means that you have to prove that you know how to pay a bill or two on time, right? Most people are not homeowners. Most people don't want to be overweight. Most people would love to be at a healthy weight, but most people are obese. Most people, I believe, would love to have a business of some kind. It may not be an online business, but I think that most people would love to have some type of business. If they knew that they could make X amount of dollars and not have to clock in, I think most people would want a business. But most people don't have a business because it's hard. Most of the time, the thing that you want, most people don't have. If they did, you probably wouldn't even want it. Whatever it is that you're manifesting, whatever degree it is that you want, most people probably don't have it. But in order for you to get it, you're going to have to change. But if you keep focusing on the when it's going to happen, you're going to continue day after day after day to vibrate at a low frequency. You're going to get mad and frustrated because it's not happening on your time. And you're probably going to give up. So detach from the outcome. Let it go. And let God. Seriously. Leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. I cannot wait to read what you have to say. Also, you guys make sure you subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join the Patreon. The link is down below in my description. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.